Hey, stop complicating your wholesale business. In this video, I'm going to show you how to simplify your wholesaling business. But before we begin, guys, do me a favor. This is Rick with Flip with Rick. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this video. Guys, do you overcomplicate your wholesaling business? I know I went through a phase where I massively overcomplicated the business. How did I do it? I had way too many KPIs. I had calculators that required mathematicians, if not calculus experts. And what I want to do is unveil the common myths of what you think you need for wholesaling. And I'm going to show you why you don't need to do that. And I'm telling you right now, I guarantee you, you're overthinking this business like most people do when they start a new project. So analysis by paralysis. It means you sit there and study every course you possibly can, or you think you're just going to hire a guru. You're going to pay them X amount of money and they're going to solve all your problem. And I'm here to tell you that's when a lot of your problems are going to start, because do you ever notice how random the pricing of all these courses are? You can get anything from, it seems like $2 or $3 to $97 up to $10, $20, $30,000. There's no rhyme or reason for what you're getting with the course. And so many of you think when you pay, all your problems are solved there. No, actually, this is where it starts, because this is where you actually have to grind and put the work in. So wholesaling is a beginning level entry for you to reap the rewards of flipping real estate with very little risk to you. And I love it. And that's how I got started. Thinking you have to study everything for listen, I'll tell you right now, if you spent more than 2 months studying the material, you're already behind the game. But Rick, 2 months isn't that long. We go to school. The difference of school is you practice in theory. The reality of how business works is it's hands-on. That's how you learn. So have you ever started a business where you went to training for 2 years before you started? Absolutely not. That's not how the real world works, and you need to understand it. If you're spending more than 2 months studying online courses, I don't care if they're free or they're paid for, you're spending way too much time. This is about taking action. So you can study the whole time you're doing it, and you will get brighter and better, and that goes with anything in life. But guys, too many of you are spending too much time. If you have waited 6 months or a year and you haven't done a deal yet, you think you need all this knowledge up in here, and what you really need to do is you need to get on the phone, you need to go out and get appointments, and you need to get your marketing going. If you don't know how to do that, just comb through our channel. Me and Zach provided it all here for you free. There is no excuse for you to get started, especially on the Flip with Rick channel, because we give you the best free wholesaling information on the internet available today. Hands down, there's no course. You know I'm not going to hit you over the head with a course, so why don't you take advantage? There's I believe we're over 350 videos of training courses at your disposal. You can just go in there and search for it. Everything's there, from cold calling to texting to direct mail, anything you want to know. And the biggest thing is, do not sit here and spend 3, 6, 12 months, because I've noticed the longer people wait, the harder it is for them to get started. So get rid of your analysis by paralysis. I did my first deal in the first 35 days, and I was scared out of my mind. I was freaked out, and being uncomfortable is where you want to be to get started in real estate. The next one that leads to is the do-it-yourself over-researcher. This is somebody who maybe they get a lead or they want to research a lead. So how do I know when I have this type of person? So I have a lot of people call me and say, hey, Rick, I found a property and everything's great. And they tell me, can you help me out with the ARV or anything? You know what my first question to them is? What did the seller say to you? Oh, Rick, I didn't talk to the seller yet. Okay, now you've jumped back up into analysis paralysis, and now you've thrown the research bug on there. Listen, if you're not dealing with motivated sellers, you're wasting your time, because outside of that, you're going to have to be a realtor on the market. And I didn't get in this business to make a couple $1,000s on real estate commissions, and nor should you. Unless they have a motivating situation. I got to sell the house fast. There's something wrong with the house, or they came to you and wanted your advice to sell the house quickly. Don't worry about what the value of the house is. It doesn't make sense. So anyone who talks about hey, I have a list of addresses. Okay, that's fine. Give us the address and we'll research them, but you're not doing wholesaling. You're definitely not doing real estate investing. You need to get in and have conversations with these people to find out what's going on with them. And here's the key. You don't need to know everything about wholesaling and do it. You just need to strike up a conversation and see how you can help them out. So many of you think you have to know every little nook and cranny about everything wholesaling. You actually don't. The people who do best are the ones that connect with people and see if they can help them out. The ones who spend all their time trying to research values and all this other stuff, it's just huge waste of time. You're basically an underwriter. You're equivalent to what someone who does appraisals. I don't have a problem with them, but we didn't get into wholesaling to do that. So that leads me to the ARV section. So I'm going to be honest with you. This is the most elusive stat, the most elusive research you'll ever find on a property. The owner will tell you one thing. Real estate agent will tell you another. Zillow will definitely tell you another. And then if you use listrei.com for the prop stream, it might tell you another. What you have to do is take all that information and use your most common sense judgment. Nobody can tell you what the ARV is. You have to use your common sense to deduct it. Now, for those of you who say, hey, it's 70% minus repairs plus your wholesale fee, that's great. To be honest with you, that worked out great when I started. If you guys still use those numbers, lose it because it doesn't work. 70% of what? The ARV? Well, I just told you the ARV is a floating number. So you could be off 25% in either direction. What's the point? You see what I'm getting at? We spend so much time trying to research all these numbers and stats. We use the word comps, which basically shows other properties of similar size, square footage in the area. I like comps a little bit better, but like ARV, I just find it to be this elusive magic number and nobody can put their finger on it. So me telling you to write a contract at 70% of the ARV minus repairs, it doesn't mean much because if we're way off on the ARV, what do we care if it's 40% or 90%? It doesn't matter. So that's why I'm trying to get you, like ARV, start figuring out who's giving you that data. I take whatever I get off my listrei.com through PropStream. I pretty much ignore what the seller says to me. I might look at like some Zillow value, some other things, and I'll come out to an average and figure it out. Then I'll look at, see what the repairs are on the property. And by the way, the homeowners will typically tell you it's very low. If you go to buy a property from another wholesaler, they'll tell you it's really low. And the reality is it's expensive. This stuff is expensive. And I don't get into the repairs of the property. I just want to know what they roughly are because that's what we call the unknown factor. And that's where a final fix and flip guy or gal will wind up doing that. So guys, ARV, it's elusive. So if I tell you 70 or 80%, if you dial the ARV number in, ARV to me just stands for what the property would actually sell for as is. So I don't even like ARV. Just tell me what the as is value of that property is right now. Not after you fix it, because I'm not going to fix it. In wholesaling, we don't fix them up. To be honest with you, it's a huge waste of time. You're not going to make any more money. You're just going to spend more time, more money, and there's a lot of unknown variables that you can't control when you start ripping walls open. So guys, at the end of the day, I want you to understand this. I'm not going to give you this magic formula. As I said, you're overcomplicating wholesaling. Wholesaling is just connecting with people, helping them liquidate a property that has challenges that the traditional market will not allow them to solve. So what I mean, if the house is run down, they don't want people to walk in and through it. If they have somebody in the family that has a medical condition, they don't want people parading through the house. There is a lot of houses that transact this way. Trust me, I've been doing this 18 years. They're everywhere. Those are the people you want to connect with. Doing all these calculations for ARV and 70%, let me explain a simple concept to you. There's only two things you need to know when wholesaling a property, and you can forget most of everything else that tells you. Number one, how much can you make from it? So if I'm doing my first deal and I have no experience, and I can earn $3,000 and I already have a buyer lined up, would you do that deal? I would. Why not? Who cares? Like, it's going to help you confirm your your convictions to wholesale, and you're going to prove it in your mind you can do it. If you do 3,000, you can do 10,000, you can do 30,000, you can do 50,000. They're just zeros added onto it. It's no big deal. It's just a multiplier. So number one, can I make money on the deal? That's the art of real estate, the art of wholesaling. So if the answer is yes, I would never go below 3,000, but eventually you'll get above 10, 20, and 30,000. The next question you have to ask yourself is, what is my risk? Now, I'm not going to close a property, put $100,000 on the line to make $3,000. That's insane. But if you have a property locked up with a very small, tiny deposit, or even no deposit, and you're making $3,000, how much are you making as a return on your money? It's pretty much infinite. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, is if I gave you that 70% formula, you wouldn't do this type of deal. Now, I'm not encouraging you to do $3,000 deals, but if that's what it takes to get a deal done, we sometimes have to do small deals to get the property sold, to get everybody paid and move on. But that leads me to the next $60,000 or $70,000 or $80,000 property I've done. We've done six-figure deals. They're everywhere. The deals pick up, then we pick the deal and we move forward with it. So at the end of the day, I would just boil it down to two questions. Can I make money on this deal? And what is my risk? The more you have risk, the more money you need to make. End of story. So if you have no money on the line, you don't even have a deposit, and you can make, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, why wouldn't you do the deal? And that wouldn't work if I told you to do 70% of ARV minus repairs in your wholesale fee. You would lose out on that deal every time. And that's why I'm trying to open you guys up. Guys, this business is so simple. So let's simplify your marketing while we're on it. So I've talked previously in another video about KPIs and how you just need to simplify them. And I'm a firm believer of that. So your marketing is, if you send out 1,000 mailers, or you send out 1,000 texts, or you're doing 1,000 cold calls, it's real simple. Dedicate a phone number for each marketing channel, and then see how many deals you have come in through that pipeline. And then you can analyze when you go back to do your marketing. If I did 3 channels and say cold calling accounted for 3 deals, and say I did direct mail and texting and they got none. I don't know about you guys, but I'm probably going to take whatever I did with the cold calling and I'm going to double down on it. That's it. The numbers will not lie to you. The data always tells the truth. You cannot spin the data. So simplify it. Don't pick the key ones you see to do. If you spent $1,500 on cold calling and you wind up getting 3 deals out of it, and say you made a $45,000 profit and it only cost you, say, $1,800 to do it, then I would take that $1,800 and I would probably increase it to $4,000. And then I would really ramp up. If I'm taking all the calls and I'm completely ramped up, if I have maybe a partner that I'm working with, say, get them all excited about it. Okay, listen, we spent $1,800, we made $45. If we spend $4, I'm hoping we can double it. But honestly, if you can increase those profit numbers with it, that's it. So simplify your marketing stats. Like if you're comfortable with cold calling and it's working and it's outperforming everything else, do it. If the others are not producing, either switch your lists up or shift to the one that's actually making money, and then constantly experiment with other marketing channels. You have to simplify the process. Do not overthink it. And for those of you who are not using independent phone numbers for each marketing channel, please make that switch as soon as possible. But I tell you what, share with me, what do you think? Do you overcomplicate wholesaling, or are you ready to simplify your wholesaling? I've been doing this 18 years. I'm telling you guys, it's simple. The simpler you make it, the more money you make, and you will have an absolute ball doing it. Guys, leave me your comments. Let me know if you are overcomplicating your wholesaling business and maybe some of the key information you would use to simplify your wholesaling business. Guys, this is Rick Ginn with Flip with Rick. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video with friends that think can benefit from the absolute best free wholesaling information on the internet today. This is Rick and Zach tuning out with Flip with Rick.